Key. Come on. Come on, let's go fly the aircraft.
Meow, Squidward. Meow, Squidward. Meow.
What are you saying, Charlie? Charlie, what the fuck are you saying? Yeah, Squidward. Alright.
Drive it. Yeah, I froze as well. I was just frozen. I was just touching the bike. My helmet. My helmet. I was. Bigger.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be as good though.
What the fuck?
Domination.
Whoa, that was weird.
Objectives.
Ah, it's the last. Whoa! I got rid of my bullet level. I hit this guy off his. What the fuck? My voice. I hit this guy.
What the fuck is that noise, dog? Look, record.
Because he said. He said it's.
I'm okay. Oh!
This is the Coca-Cola van.
The back was open. Aww. I always crushed that guy. I crushed him. Dipshit.
I'm not even looking. What the fuck happened?
Charlie has left me. I am alone forevers. Ow, I fell over.
Charlie!
Social
No,
call.
sorry.
Of course not. You're in trouble and you need
Alfie!
my help. No problem.
They're coming after me, Charlie! Take my car!
Go!
Charlie. Flame on! Flame on!
Where are we headed?
Strawberry. Got on the run from New York. Good price for him.
What'd he do?
Rob a bank?
With a gun?
No, with a pen. He's an accountant, I think.
Sounds easy.
Come on, we got a bit of a ride.
I know. Your telegram. You said you had something to discuss.
Wait, I'm coming. could literally just run to you. It's not deep at all. Charlie, I have an idea.
Alfie, that was a mo. That was a motorbike under there. I've already jumped out. Oh, I've almost landed. I'm literally about to land. Yeah, I heard it. Look, so I'm about to land now. Alfie! I'm on it! What's going there? Oh, yeah. I was so close. I almost fucking slipped off. Oh, I heard Alfie. I didn't see him though. George, land. Oh shit! Wait, did you cut the parachute? Right, George. Don't get out. You're up in atomizer, okay?
Give me something.